risk, hold one of my fists, we fire starters. One out of a million will reach those heights. Always get a feeling that I won't deny. Not work, never could toss. Look in my eyes, I'm on the rocks, rise. A couple milli now, I'm causing a commotion. I've been coasting, hear my name around the world like an explosion.
So rise up, rise up. We are the apocalypse, and a pill that keeps us floating. As we fly above the stars, the night won't scare us falling. So rise up, rise too great to be landed. Rise up, way too great to be standing.
They never gonna stop us, fly by them like choppers. Better took those risks, hold one of my fists, we fire starters. One out of a million will reach those heights. Always get a feeling that I won't deny. Not work, never could toss. Look in my eyes, I'm on the rocks, rise.
3. Welcome everybody to Intensity Broadcasting. I'm your host Matt Knights, joined tonight by Alex Veith. Good evening, Alex. How's everything going?
Oh, it's Monday night, and we're about to watch some real fast half-mile dirt racing. I'm not sure if you're real big on the dirt scene, but when you think Williams Grove, that's East Coast. When you think East Coast dirt racing, what do you think? Big block modifieds, baby.
I'm excited about this. These are the cars I grew up watching from time I was about 10 years old until I got through high school. I've only gotten to see them twice since then, so I am pretty excited for this series.
See, out here in the Midwest, we got them UMP mods, the superior modifieds.
I do want to give a quick shout out to some sponsors here. We got Team Fast Motorsports, Grace Excavation, and YRD Designs. I believe most of these sponsors are affiliated with this group already, so big shout out to them, and we'll be hitting them throughout the broadcast tonight. We are getting through practice here in a few minutes. I believe heats are scheduled to start here any minute now, right at 8:50 it looks like right now.
Yeah, no qualifying, straight into Heat 1. We got 10 lap heats, top 3 advance to the feature. And if we need them, we got a couple mains. Looks like we got 3 10-lap heats. If we have to, a D main, which is 8 laps, 2 advance to the C. The C main is 10 laps, 2 advance to the B. And the B main is 12 laps. The winner goes to the feature, and we have a 50-lap feature with the top 3 being inverted.
I believe they only do 1 pace lap.
Yeah, it's a half mile. It's a pretty big track. On track, we got Dylan Thomas in the 03, Zach McMillan in the 97, John Bragman in the 4, Quentin Reed in the 71, Matthew Belt rolling out in the 41 ride. And rounding out the 6 in this heat is Kevin Robinson in the 60.
Yeah, I don't see any lights on that pace truck, so we got to be going green this time by 10 laps.
6 on the track, top 3 to the feature. Who's taking the short path to the heat or to the feature? Looks like we got 1 more pace lap still.
All right, I lied.
You had me fooled. The lights on the pace truck were off for me too. The pace truck driver must be the new guy or something. Couple good looking cars out there.
I love the way they come through with that right front off the ground.
So far, I think my favorite looking car is that 71 ride of Quentin Reed. That's a good looking car. Pace truck is off. And we are green flag racing for Heat 1. Man, these cars sound good. Dylan Thomas and Zach McMillan out to your front 2 already with a 4 car of John Bragman bringing in that final transfer spot. The 41 of Matthew Belt sneaking in there, trying to get underneath him and get that final transfer. As Quentin Reed's working the high side. Ooh, gets in the back of the 4. Just upsets him just enough to send him around, and we got a caution.
Now, Alex, I was watching these guys last Sunday night. They just finished up their last season, getting ready for tonight. And you know how when we run asphalt, it's anywhere from 3 to 5 laps. These guys weren't taking that long, so for something like that, I don't know that we want to go to a wreckage replay right now.
It was just an itty-bitty tap.
Because I got a feeling 1 more lap and they're going to hammer down again.
Lights are off on the pace truck yet again, so we should be green flag this time by. Dylan Thomas, Zach McMillan, John Bragman, still your top three.
Yeah, let's take a quick run. Dylan Thomas in the 03. Zach McMillan, the 97.
Morgantown, West Virginia.
Matt Belt from PA, number 41. Kevin Robinson in the number 60. John Bragman in that number 4. I kind of like that number 4. And Quentin Reed in the 71. We should be going green this time. No,
Yep,
maybe not. The
no,
pace truck's still kind of in the way.
Still on. It's kind of hard to tell when the lights are on. I'm not used to racing in the daylight. A lot of rubber starting to get laid down on that low line. I'm excited to see how much rubber gets down on that track by the end of the third heat.
Yeah, due to time restrictions, these guys only had, looks like they're going to go one more lap. They only had 15 minutes of practice to lay down some rubber. But as we hit through these heats, that line of rubber
is off. Single file restart. And we are off. Dylan Thomas with a huge jump over Zach McMillan. Matthew Belt still rolling in that final transfer spot.
Oops.
John Bragman looking to get that back as he's starting to work that high side where there's some fresh dirt. Field's still pretty spread out. Still the same running order. Quentin Reed starting to come up on that back bumper of the 4-car again. We got cross sticks halfway. Or, nope, yeah, we got halfway. Good looking shot from the iRacing Goodyear blimp of the fabled Williams Grove Speedway.
I like this one. This gives you a pretty good perspective of the different lines that guys are trying to get through these corners.
When most people think East Coast dirt racing, you think of this track, and I mean, it's been legendary for years.
Throw the track map up there to give an idea how far out Dylan is.
Dylan Thomas still your lead. He got a 2.5 lead over Zach McMillan. He is really starting to check out here. Matthew Belt looks like he's trying some different lines. He's not content with starting or finishing third. He's going to work underneath Zach McMillan on the low side, which is good timing because here comes the forward, John Bragman. He's got his eyes set. He's got 2 laps to get that final transfer spot back. So we come to the white flag lap here. Matthew Belt not quite able to make the move on the 97 just yet, but he's not going to give up that easy. Dylan Thomas takes your first heat win, followed by Zach McMillan. Matt Belt on the final transfer. John Bragman coming up 4th. Quentin Reed 5th. And Kevin Robinson in that 60 rounding out your 6 spots.
And we're going to move right into the second heat.
Racking them up. 5 in this one. The 073 is Steve Robbins. Brady Weber in that 7 machine, Earl Jackson in that 111, and Dustin Windy in that 5th and final spot in the 66. Oh, no, sorry, there's another one. Rob Shaw in the 519. Only one caution in that one. I don't foresee another caution happening in this one.
Have you driven these cars in iRacing, Alex?
I have driven the 358s, and I can drive them well enough to get in trouble.
I did buy this car, and I've run a few races with it. For me, someone who's used to running on asphalt, boy, this is a handful.
I originally got iRacing for dirt, but something happened, and I'm now primarily pavement racing, but I still dabble in the dirt. At the end of this season, I should have I'll, as long as I don't do anything drastic and lose 6/10 on my SR, then I'll have my B license in dirt. Pace truck is peeling off, and we got 5 of them racked up and ready to go to battle out for 10 laps. 3 to the feature, the other 2 go to the B mains. Green flag, and they are off. Pretty dead even on the front row. Still dead even as they come out on the backstretch. Steve Robbins takes the early, pinches off the 07, kind of a little bit of contact going on. No, the 7 goes around, almost goes over.
No caution.
No caution. Steve Robbins, Earl Jackson, Dustin Windy, your top 3. As we go down the backstretch, field kind of spread out about the same as it was in the last heat. As it runs, Steve Robbins, Earl Jackson, Dustin Windy, Rob Shaw, Brady Weber outside looking in. Although it's a 3-second gap back from Rob to the leader. They're all working the high side. Earl Jackson looking for a way around Steve Robbins as he's going to look to the inside on the backstretch. Still going to work that high line. And he's going to try and pull a slider late in turn 4 going down the backstretch as they're side by side. Earl Jackson down to the bottom side. Almost slides up into the 073, but keeps it off of him as they go down the backstretch. Dustin Windy with the best seat in the house to watch this all-out fist fight for the heat win. Side by side, and they touch doors as they go into turn 1. These guys want it. Side by side coming out of 4. Earl Jackson cuts it low, trying to find any kind of traction. Side by side still as they go into turn 1. Side by side, almost door to door, coming out of 1 and 2 onto the backstretch. This is a battle. Earl Jackson pulls out to just a bare little lead, pulls a little bit of the slider. Steve Robbins going to cut back underneath, crossover. Now it's Earl Jackson the high, Steven Robbins on the low. Earl Jackson pulling away from Steve Robbins. Dustin Windy just watching, wondering what just happened. Rob Shaw back there in the 4th spot. Brady Weber almost 8 seconds back. Earl Jackson just pulling away from Steve Robbins. Stretch that out to almost a second lead at the stripe. 1.4 seconds over Dustin Windy. So what do you think of the product so far on track, Mr. Knights?
This is fantastic.
I know I'm doing all the work, but all the wording, but
And that's it for heat number 2. Earl Jackson, Steve Robbins, Dustin Wendy transferring on.
why don't you go ahead and give us the rundown of heat number 3? If you can.
I'm working it. All right, rolling off in first, Randy Rockwell. Oh, I'm sorry, Grandpa in the 49.
Grandpa's got pole.
Then Randy Rockwell in the 181. They keep changing on me in SDK here. Looks like Dylan Petty in the 5. Jeremy Bowman in the 40, and Aubrey Lord in the 73.
Aubrey Lord is now actually on track.
Is not on track?
Not showing on track. She is not in the session currently. I'm assuming I've been known to be wrong before.
Well, let's zoom out. No, I only see 4.
4 on the track. Only one goes to the B main then. Who's it going to be? I think I got a new favorite car. That's the 181. Those gold chrome numbers sure do look good. Pace truck is off, and we got them racked up, ready to go for the 3rd and final heat. 10 laps. Green flag is out. Ooh, a little bit of contact between Randy Rockwell and Grandpa. Grandpa working that low line as Randy Rockwell dives low, trying to make a move. You can throw a tarp over these 4 drivers. Slide job from the 5 of Dylan Petty on 03 for that final transfer spot.
Let's take a look from above and see what lines they're taking.
Big slider from the 5 of Dylan Petty as he's working on 2nd place of Randy Rockwell. He's charging to the front.
He may have some momentum here.
It's a bold strategy, Cod. Let's see how it pays out. Dylan Petty into 2nd, working the low line on Grandpa. He's going for the point. With the top 3 invert, I believe this is for pole position in the feature. Randy Rockwell working underneath a little bit under Dylan Petty here. Grandpa holding strong, 6 laps in, holding off Dylan Petty. as he's sliding underneath, trying to get side by side, going down the front stretch into turn one. Can't quite get it done. Oh, he got him there. Grandpa slid high. Looks like Dylan Petty's going to have the inside line here coming into turn three. Side by side, slides up a little bit, can't quite get it done, loses a little bit of momentum. Still door to door coming down the front stretch into turn one. Dylan Petty starting fourth all the way up to second, battling for the lead here. 0.4 of a second separates these front three for the final transfer spot. Dylan Petty throws the slider. Grandpa crosses over underneath him, said, "Not today, son, not today." Grandpa going to work the bottom side. Dylan Petty up high.
Well, you wouldn't know this is a heat race and all three of these guys are already in, would you?
No. You think this is for the final transfer spot out of the B main, the way these guys are fighting. Dylan Petty finally able to clear Grandpa going down the backstretch into turn three. Grandpa says, no, not today. He's going to work underneath and get back by the five of Dylan Petty. As we come to the line, it will be Dylan Petty, Grandpa, and a wheelie from Randy Rockwell. 5 wide Bowman coming in fourth. Boy, that was the best heat race yet. Looks like everybody will transfer to the feature. $16 cars start your A main. And Dylan Petty takes the pole.
That's right. Dylan Petty in the 5 and the pole. Earl Jackson in the 2 right next to him. Dylan Thomas in the 03. Zach McMillan in the 97. 5th place, Steve Robbins in the 073. Grandpa in the 49. 7 is Matt Belt in the 41. 8th, Dustin Wendy in the 66. 9th, Randy Rockwell in the 181. Filling out the top 10, John Bragman in the number 4.
Rob Shaw in 11th. 5 wide Bowman 12th. 71, Quentin Reed coming in that lucky 13 spot. Brady Weber 14th. Aubrey Lord, who did not start, also not on track, 15th, and Kevin Robinson rounding out your 15-car field. $15 cars, 50 laps. From the heat racing we saw, it's going to be an all-out brawl from the green flag to the checker.
Based on those heats, I'm expecting some, I'm pretty excited to see some pretty good racing here. A lot of clean racing. Now that we've got a few more cars on the track, maybe not so much, but we'll see. I don't know, Alex, can you see if those lights are on? It looks like he's pulling off.
Pace truck is pulling off. 15 cars, 50 laps. It's going to be a brawl here at Williams Grove. Kick the tires and light the fires. We're going big block racing, baby. Looks like Dylan Petty out to
We got an incident in the front, the 40. I don't see a caution yet. No caution. We're going to stay green.
Looks like he is rolling, but back in the back. Dylan Thomas working underneath Earl, or no?
Dylan Petty
Yeah,
and Dylan Thomas.
Yeah, Dylan and Dylan. Trying to get out there and establish the dominance early. Dylan Thomas takes the lead that lap over Dylan Petty. Earl Jackson sitting in that third spot. Steve Robbins fourth. Zach McMillan, your top five. Caution, caution, caution. Couple flipping in turn 3.
And let's go to a record replay and see if we can find out what happened here.
I got the 7 and the 71. Look at that beautiful Woody wagon. It's like an 80s LTD wagon.
Let's get this set up here. All right, you see him coming in here. Take it away, Alex.
Yeah, it just slides it. It looks like the 7 made a little bit of contact with who that was ahead of him, and Quentin Reed had nowhere to go and just kind of slid into the side of Brady Weber. Yeah, it looks like a racing deal. Track's starting to get slicked up.
Sorry, everybody. I forgot to turn the ticker on for you.
Hey, there we go. Three laps down, 47 to go. And we've already seen some slicing and dicing in the top 3. Next week, I believe we take this series to the 3/10 of a mile dirt track in Braselton, Georgia, known as Lanier. That'll be interesting.
That will be something, won't it?
Green flags back out. Dylan, it's a Dylan and Dylan show up front. Dylan Thomas low, Dylan Petty high. Looks like Earl Jackson sitting in that third spot, just watching the fight. He's really got the advantage, so he can really scope out who's got the better run where the better line is right now.
3 wide down the front.
Lots of wild racing all the way through the pack. 3 wide back there for probably 10th somewhere. As it's Dylan Thomas has cleared Dylan Petty on lap 6. Earl Jackson sitting 4th. Grandpa 4th. Steve Robbins, your top 5. Zach McMillan, Matt Belts, Randy Rockwell, Dustin Windy, John Bragman, your top 10. It's starting to calm down single file throughout the pack. Looks like some 2 wide racing back there for about 7th or 8th, and then again in 10th and 11th.
Oh, we got 1 around in
Caution,
middle
caution,
of 1 and
caution.
2.
Hmm. 181 and 519. Shut the record rewind screen off.
How's that?
Now rewind it. Yeah, the 519 Rob Shaw just slides it in and doors the 81. Wasn't much he could really do. Eight laps complete, 50 to go. Or no, 42 to go. Looks like Pace Truck's going to make another lap, and then we'll be back to racing.
You know, this is one of the things that I've really missed about being at the dirt track as a kid is there's always so much good racing going on all throughout the field. You're not always just watching the leaders.
I've been going to dirt races forever. I actually took my girlfriend to her first dirt race 2 years ago. And she got a circus of a show. There was a guy got taken out down the front stretch. A guy got right reared, turned him straight in the wall in the sport compacts and flipped his car, and the guy who wrecked him got DQ'd and parked. And the guy just kept making laps. Well, they finally got the tow trucks out and corralled him off the track. And right as they're getting ready to throw the green flag, you see his car jump the berm and just start hot lapping. And he's got no helmet on and a T-shirt. And they get him corralled back out. The guy goes down, out into the pits, out the pits, onto the interstate, and gone. Well, come to find out, it was the driver's dad in the car as the driver got the truck and trailer and left so they could pick the car up. Needless to say, it's pretty easy to figure out who it was because there was a number on the door. That number was registered to a driver.
Here we go. Back to green. The Dylan and the Dylan Show take it hard into the corner.
So yeah, that was her first dirt track experience. I had to tell her, it's not always like that. Got some side-by-side action brewing back there for about fifth, as Dylan Thomas looking to get the lead back from Dylan Petty. The high side versus the low side. 3 versus the 5. Oh,
we got one
flipping.
Over. That'll bring out a caution as he's stuck on his side.
Yep.
Let's go take a better look at that one. And this is coming into turn 3 right here.
Yeah. Looks like Earl Jackson, let's see, starts to over-rotate. No, it's already ahead of you.
Yeah, I've got the 519 comes into him at the end there.
Yeah, the Earl Jackson over-rotates, and the 49 Grandpa had nowhere to go and hit him in the door.
Yeah, here we go. This is a much better angle.
Yeah, as you can see, he's really starting to over-rotate, and about there's the point of no saving it, and Grandpa had nowhere to go and right into his door. Here comes the 97. He gets collected into it a little bit. Yeah, Grandpa, wrong place, wrong time. But unfortunately, the rules of this league, if your car comes to a complete stop and the accident, you take an UL. It's a tough break for him, going all the way back to 14th. 10 laps complete. Pace truck is off. Dylan Petty gets a good jump off Dylan Thomas going into turn 1 and 2. The 41 of Matthew Belt working underneath. He's trying to take that second spot away from Dylan Thomas. But don't look now. Zach McMillan's up there wanting to make a challenge as well. Matthew Belt side by side with Dylan Thomas going down the front stretch into turn 1 and 2. Coming out of 2, he just barely has him cleared. Not quite. He's at his door. Matthew Belt backs up the corner to get down on that low side, and he is going to clear Dylan Thomas here for second as he's going to set his sights on the 5P of Dylan Petty. A little slip up there. Caution, caution, caution. Mm,
49.
7. And looks like the 073. Getting her found.
There it is. There it is. I found it. I think I found it. We're going to find out real quick. It has to do with the 7 right here. The 073
yeah,
and the
7 kind of checks up a little bit, and the 073 just tags them, and around they go. Here comes Grandpa sliding in. Once again, no place to go. Tags the back of the 073, and around they all go. Tough break for Grandpa. Goes from 5th and no place to go, and no place to go right there either. But it looks like the restart's been changed to single file for at least this restart, so should make it interesting. Lights on the pace truck are off. As Dylan Petty leads Matthew Belt, Dylan Thomas, Zach McMillan, Randy Rockwell, your top 5 as we start lap 13. Dylan Petty out to a big start. Matthew Belt working that low line, wanting to get back, get around Dylan Petty as he has already cleared Dylan Thomas. Side by side down the front stretch, we have a drag race into turn 1. Dylan Petty up high. Matthew Belt down low. He gets him cleared almost out of turn 2, going down the back stretch, coming into turns 3 and 4. Matthew Belt back down to that low side. Going to try and pull a slider here and clear Dylan Petty and put him in his rear view as he sets his eyes on getting a big lead away from these guys. Boy, that was a battle.
Well, he's definitely found something on that low line.
Yeah, it was 16 laps in. Is it going to be there by lap 50, though? Dylan Thomas looking to get back by Dylan Petty yet again as Zach McMillan back there battling it out with the 4 of John Bragman for 4th. Quentin Reed, he's made quite the charge. He started 13th. He's up to 6th. And took an EOL early.
Let's see if we can't take a quick ride here with the 03 Dylan Thomas.
Boy, these cars are wild. I'm not even sure how the drivers even get in these things with the big deck lids. These cars are really the love child between a sprint car and a super late model. Yeah. Dylan Petty up on high. Dylan Thomas, we were just on board with, working underneath him, take that second spot away.
And there's nothing more Matt Belt wants to see than the two of them going head to head.
Yeah, he's already stretched out a 1.2 second lead, a 1.4 second lead over these guys, almost 1.5. Keep on fighting it out, he says. Let me just get away. Ooh, Dylan Thomas tags the wall down there, gets really upset. Dylan Petty gets by and stretches out a sizable, almost half a tenth lead over him. Dylan Thomas really has to reset and regather and make another charge. Quentin Reed up to that 4th spot. He's making moves. Zach McMillan back to the 5th spot. As you can see on the track map, that's quite the gap that the leader has. Almost half a turn between them. And there's a 2-car battle, a 3-car battle, a big gap, and the rest of the field. It seems to be the high side starting to come in and be the preferred line for these guys.
Let's take a look. Is Matt Belt still running down low? Yeah, he is.
He's got some mojo down there that nobody else does.
If it's working for you, don't try to fix it.
Don't want everybody else to know your secrets, though.
I don't know how much of a secret it is if you passed him on the low side to begin with.
Yeah, but he's got the bottom side figured out that the guys he's passed hasn't figured out.
No, it looks like Dylan Thomas might be trying that low line with him.
I mean, this is a fixed setup, I believe. Yes, it is a fixed setup. So I mean, it all comes down to what you can change with your steering box and whatnot, of whether or not you can really hug the bottom or not.
That's what I love about these fixed setups, is it's all about driving.
I mean, you can change your steering ratio and a couple things to kind of make it fit, but at the same time, I mean, there's not a whole lot you can do. A lap car, Kevin Robinson pulls it in 11th. Gets it out of the way of the lead pack. As it is still Matt Belt, Dylan Petty behind, trailing Matt Belt 2.7 seconds at the line. Dylan Thomas 3.6 back at the line. Quentin Reed, Zach McMillan, your top 5. John Bragman, Steve Robbins, Dustin Windy, Rob Shaw, and Grandpa, your top 10. Front 3 really getting spread out. The only battle I see on the track really is between Zach McMillan and John Bragman, and Steve Robbins and Rob Shaw battled out for the 9th spot.
20 to go.
Wow, we're already past halfway. I didn't even realize it.
I know there's a lot going on. A lot going on. It's going quickly. Matt Belt is now out to a 3-second lead.
Yeah, the top 3 really spread out. I think, barring a caution, I don't think anybody's going to catch anybody.
Let's take a ride around with Zach McMillan here as he tries to catch Quentin Reed.
This is a really flat half-mile dirt. Big straightaways and sweeping corners. These cars do look so cool when they carry that left front, though. I will say that. You can see really when Quentin Reed really stands on the throttle, picks that left front up. Don't look now. We got a side-by-side battle for second. Dylan Thomas and Dylan Petty back at it. You can kind of see that brewing up there in the out of the cockpit cam. More good news for Matt Belt as he can run away even further. 3.5 seconds. Dylan Petty still retaining that second spot for now. Dylan Thomas working that low side mojo, trying to take that second spot away from Dylan Petty as he's hanging her out high, wide, and handsome into turn 1 and 2. Cushion's really starting to build up, and I think here by the last couple laps, that cushion will be almost to the wall, as it is in turn 3 and 4. Out there, quick and fence posts. Dylan Thomas working that low line. He's going to secure Dylan Petty by a car length as Dylan Petty gets a good run down the backstretch from that high side momentum.
Alex, is it me, or does it feel like we've been watching the Dylan show since lap 1?
Yeah, these guys have been fist fighting it out, but Quentin Reed and Zach McMillan are still in a battle.
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining. But, man, that's some exciting racing.
Yeah, these guys are putting on a show. I mean, even Matthew Belt put on a show getting around him. Matthew Belt started all the way back in 7th place. So he picked his way through. Dylan Petty still working that high side along with Quentin Reed, trying to run down Dylan Thomas. Dylan Thomas has cleared a 2 or 3 car length gap over Dylan Petty as we're under 10 to go here. Looks like Dylan Thomas has claimed the second spot from Dylan Petty. Matthew Belt out there all by himself, almost half a corner lead over these guys. Dylan Thomas running away from Dylan Petty as Quentin Reed has his eyes set on Dylan Petty for that final podium spot. Seven to go. And top 5 really stretched out here. Ooh, we got a little battle brewing back here for 6th, 7th, and 8th. Rob Shaw, Dustin Windy, and John Bragman. You can throw a tarp over these boys. John Bragman, no? Who was that? Rob Shaw drove it in till he saw God under there and almost got around the four, but John Bragman able to secure the position.
He's got a run here coming off at 2.
Yeah, look for a dive bomb. Here we go. Slide job engaged. Not quite able to get it done. They are side by side. A little bit of contact, a little bit of hey, how you doing as they go down the front stretch. John Bragman working the high side.
5 to go.
Rob Shaw working the low line. Dustin Windy sitting there on the high side watching the battle. Your top 3 is still Belt, Thomas, Petty, Reed 4th, McMillan 5th, Bragman, Shaw, Windy, who you see on your screen right now in an all-out fist fight with 4 laps to go. Dustin Windy taking over that 7th spot from Rob Shaw.
Three laps remaining.
Dustin Windy with a little bit of a blink, but still in that 7th spot, trying to find a way around John Bragman as he's trying to hold off the 519 of Rob Shaw. Rob Shaw able to secure the spot. Over Dustin Windy for the
Final lap, and Matt Belt, all
Maybe.
he has to do is turn this last corner.
last lap.
Checkered flag. Matt Belt, Dylan Thomas, Dylan Petty, Quentin Reed, Zach McMillan, John Bragman.
Thomas still in 5th.
How'd they finish in there? Rob Shaw come in at 7th. Dustin Wendy, Grandpa, Steve Robbins. Top 10.
These boys are going to light it up.
What'd you think, Alex?
Boy, that was a fist fight.
What a great race, wasn't it?
Getting everybody lined out in the waiting room. We're waiting on one more. Yeah, that was a Matt Belt charged from 7th to 1st, and Dylan put on an absolute clinic out there for slide jobs and all-out war, really.
Well, let's bring in our third place finisher, Dylan Petty.
Can you? It won't let me.
Won't let me either. Bear with us, folks.
Technical difficulties. Do. I just messaged the boss.
On the wall and take off. And I would
Hold on,
Quentin.
Matt, I got you.
Okay.
I thought I fucking fixed that already, but apparently not.
But the boss is working on it.
All right. Really, there was good racing throughout the pack. I was surprised. Kind of got spread out there in the middle stages, but really starting to tighten up when it come down to brass tacks within 5 to go.
Hey, are you guys good?
Yeah, we can't.
I don't understand why. I'm in settings, permissions.
Yeah, I just checked that myself.
Like you
Bring
got,
us Petty.
oh, shit, hold on. Oh no, that's everyone. I don't want everyone. Like I got you. You got every permission. Matt has every permission.
Quentin, can you bring them in? Can you bring Dylan Petty into the booth?
Let me try. How do I do it?
Drag and drop.
Drag and drop. Let me try.
Hey,
There he
hey,
is.
Matt and Alex, the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
Take us through through your heat race. Started fourth and quickly made quick work up to the point, and then started pole and battled it out there for third place. Take us through your race.
Well, so the heat race, I knew what I had. I knew what I had to do, and then Quentin mic'd up in server and said that he'd forgot to tell us there was bonus points for the heat races for the top 3 finishers. And at that point in time, I had it in my head I was going to win it. And Homan's my teammate, so I know I can get a little closer to him and run him a little bit harder than I would most, and make him make the mistake instead of having to chance it and try to throw a wild slider at him or anything like that. And I kind of worked to my favor. I was able to get up there to him and make him kind of make a couple mistakes in the heat. And when he made the mistakes, I learned where he was making them. When I was behind him for a few laps, he was overdriving entry a little bit more than what I would have. But it wound up helping me judge where he was going to enter the turn to know how much deeper to drive in to make a slider stick. So it worked out good for me. As far as the feature, I did not expect the bottom to take off. Congrats to Matt and Dylan Thomas for rolling the bottom like kings. I couldn't do it. I wasn't going to let the top go. I knew I was fast enough up there to stay up at the top and not lose too much. So, yeah, all in all, I should have probably tried the bottom, but you win some, you lose some, you learn from your mistakes. So next time I know, go to the bottom a little quicker.
Well, you can't be too disappointed with the top 3. I know it's a second loser, but still, top 3 podium finish. Congratulations. Anyone you want
Yes,
to thank?
Sir. First and foremost, I got to thank my wife, my little girl, for giving me the time to do this. Mike at Mike M Designs, I'm sure he's watching the broadcast. Thank you to him for the awesome looking cars. For all of us over at Southern Sim Racing, Brent Holman, Dylan Thomas, Corey Whitworth, Josh Blanchard, all my guys over here. They push me to be better, and it shows more and more. Recently in the league races, I've been doing a lot better. So thanks to those guys for the push. And thank y'all for broadcasting this.
Oh, thank you for putting on a world-class show for us to talk about.
I don't know about world class, but we gave it our best.
That was a good show. Congratulations, Dylan. We hope to chat with you again next week or in the near future.
Yes, sir.
Alex, you can't move anybody, right?
I can't move him.
Here, I can bounce out for y'all, and I'll let Quentin know to move the next guy up.
Yep. All right, that'll work.
Thank you.
And we got our second place finish, the 03 ride of Dylan Thomas. Dylan, this is Matt and Alex in the booth. You got us?
Yes, sir. Give me just a second. Let me mute this. How's it going, guys?
Good. I mean, you're up there up front of working the bottom line about the whole race. Come up first loser. Take us through your race. How'd it go for you?
It went really smooth. I love the bottom, but I hate running down there because you got to check up so early, and your fate's kind of in the hands of the guy behind you. And I don't know if they're going to lift early enough for me to make the corner or not. So when I took the lead back, I moved back up top. I kind of wish I would have stayed on the bottom, but it didn't matter. I monster trucked the wall down there about 7 times after I got back down there and really hurt the car.
Yeah, there's a couple times I really thought you were going to kind of run out of luck and a little bit of talent down there and end up giving away second. But you and it was the Dylan and Dylan show, really, for second and third. You guys put on an all-out fist fight. You had the bottom and he had the top locked down. Did you ever think of try the top and see what you could do up there? Or?
I really like the bottom better than the top pretty much everywhere we go. The top, except for there, the top is too much risk for me with not enough gain usually. With that being a teammate, I trust them up there not to chop me down or anything, so I just held my line on the bottom and kept on trucking.
Matt, you got anything for him?
Well, you certainly did, Dylan. Congratulations on a second place finish. Anyone you want to thank tonight?
Oh, yeah, I got to thank Dylan Petty and Brent Homan over at SSR for coming out and having fun with us, putting up a little bit of a fight. I got to thank Mike M. Designs for the good-looking car, y'all for the broadcast, and Quentin for putting this deal together. It's pretty cool.
Well, we appreciate that and appreciate you joining us tonight. Congratulations again on the second place finish, and we look forward to chatting with you in the near future here.
Same here. Thank y'all.
You want to hop back down and tell Quentin to send us the next one?
Yes, sir.
How y'all doing?
Matt
Number
Bell.
40, number 41 on the track. Number 41 in your programs. Number 1 on the track. Matt Belt. It's Matt and Alex. You got us.
Yeah.
So started 7th and drove your way up to the point. Take us through your race. You really had that bottom side on lock.
I was very happy starting even any odd number because I knew I would do well on the bottom. I always do well on the bottom at Williams Grove and a couple other tracks, but Williams Grove definitely. It's actually my local track, so I was happy to get a win there. Basically, I mean, I could tell that no one else was around the bottom because the bottom was not going away after 20, 25 laps, and I was happy with that. And I'd say the last 5 laps, I saw, I think it was Petty or Thomas, I can't remember which one it was, because of both Dylans, but they one of them was catching me, but I figured if no yellow came out, I would hold them off, and I was able to, and I'm happy with that.
Absolutely. Congratulations on that win. Is there anyone you want to thank tonight?
My woman, she deals with me, and Quentin for putting this on. That's a great league, great group of guys in here.
Well, you guys put on a hell of a show. We appreciate being able to share it with the viewers. Appreciate you, and good luck the rest of the season. We hope to speak with you in the near future.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
So, Alex, I do want to shout a second shout out here, or final shout out to Grace Excavation, Team Fast Motorsports. At Team Fast Motorsports, I did look them up on anything outdoors, 2 wheels, 4 wheels, paints, mods. Give them a shout. They'll hook you right up. And YRD Designs, Brandon Newhouse, iRacing schemes, paint schemes, hit them up. Final thoughts, Alex.
That if that's insight on how the next 4 races of this 5-race shootout are going to go, we're in for some great racing action.
I couldn't agree more. That was really